Tuesday, October 13th. It's 14 degrees out there, mostly cloudy with a chance of showers. My name is Veronica David, and this is what's making news now. The Special Investigations Unit continues to investigate into the fatal shooting of two police officers in Innisfil, Ontario. Constable Devin Northrup and Constable Morgan Russell died after a 23-year-old Chris Doncaster opened fire inside his home. The two officers did not draw their firearms, however, a third officer at the house was the one who exchanged gunfire. The suspect was pronounced dead at the scene around 8 p.m. Both officers were rushed to a local hospital where Northrup died of his injuries. Russell was airlifted to a trauma center but succumbed to his injuries early Wednesday morning. Interim South Simcoe Police Chief John Van Dyke says that words cannot describe the grief and that the immediate focus is to support their members and their grieving families. The Emergency Act inquiry is set to take place today. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, as well as several senior cabinet ministers, convoy leaders, local officials, police chiefs, are expected to testify along with 60 witnesses. The act, which had never been used before, allowed the government to clear the streets of Ottawa, freeze financial assets of convoy protesters, and keep protesters away from the downtown Ottawa core and border crossings across the country. Commissioner Paul Rouleau, the leader of the Public Order Emergency Commission, gave an opening statement on what is to be expected for the 6-week hearing on why the government chose to invoke the act. Rouleau says uncovering the truth is an important goal, and when a difficult event occurs that impacts the lives of Canadians, the public has a right to know what happened. A female pedestrian was killed this morning after being involved in a hit-and-run incident. The victim was taken to the hospital where she shortly died after her injuries. The incident happened early this morning in Mississauga at approximately 5:30 a.m. at Tompkin and Britannia Road. Though the body has yet to be identified, investigators have described the woman as elderly. The details of the suspected vehicle are still unknown, and the story is still developing. The Ukrainian capital Kyiv was hit this morning with what has been described as an Iranian-made kamikaze drone. Kyiv Regional Governor Oleksiy Kuleba confirmed rescuers are at the scene of the drone attacks and confirmed that there were no reported casualties. The drone attacks were a response to Ukraine's most recent bombing of Russia's Kerch Bridge, which connected Russia to Crimea. NATO responded to the drone attacks, pledging to send more weapons to Ukraine and help them combat Russian air attacks. A new report by RBC predicts that a recession is coming sooner than expected for Canadians. The recession is forecasted to hit Canadians in the first quarter of 2023 due to record high inflation and higher borrowing costs. The Bank of Canada is expected to benchmark lending rates to 4% from the current 3.25%, which is not a level that has been seen since the Great Recession. The bank also estimates that households will lose about $3,000 in purchasing power and a loss of over 371,000 jobs throughout Canada. Inflationary pressures on the Canadian markets have been cooling from 7.6% in July to 7% in August. This resulted in rising job vacancies and a shrinking number of unemployed workers, which has caused many businesses to have some hiring issues. The government announced that international students will no longer be subject to the limit of 20 hours of work each week. From November 15th of this year to December 31st of 2023, the government will be temporarily lifting the limit of hours that international students can work off campus. Many international students and support groups have expressed excitement and concern over this announcement. Here's Ishmeet Singh for more.
Earlier, the 20 hours part-time work limit with an average of minimum wage was barely enough to bear expenses like rent, groceries, monthly bills, while leaving the tuition fees out of the story. This move allows students just like me to have a better monthly budget if opting for more work hours. It enables the students to a more comfortable level to bear the high prices of almost everything due to inflation. The inflation prices have driven up expenses like monthly groceries, which are averagely costing me more than $150 per week. I wrote another piece on Skedline about the same. This policy does allow the students to support themselves financially while the country faces nearly 1 million job vacancies. But on the other side, it also enables the fact that students might overwork themselves. they could potentially shift their focus to work more than paying attention to their academics. So let's see how that unfolds, considering there is no defined limit on work hours. Back to you at the studio.
Thank you, Ishmeet. That's all for news today. I'm Veronica David, and here's Maria with entertainment.
Yeah, I'm Maria Pimentel, and these are our entertainment news of the day. Conspiracy theorist and podcaster Alex Jones has been ordered to pay $965 million in compensatory damages to 8 families of Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting victims and first responders by the jury of Connecticut. Jones was accused of spreading disinformation through his social media network about the Sandy Hook mass shooting. He believes the shooting was staged by the government as a plot to restrict access to guns for Americans. Jones' total net worth is to be estimated around $135 million, out of which he had to pay around $50 million in damages in a similar lawsuit in Texas. After the jury's decision on Wednesday, Sandy Hook families celebrated the verdict against Alex Jones and talked to the media outside the courtroom.
I couldn't be more proud to stand here and with all of these people, and I really miss my wife and daughters right now. They can't be here with me, but our lawyers helped give me the strength to finally find my voice.
In other news, the last of the original judges of the singing competition show, The Voice, Blake Shelton, is stepping out after a 12-year ride. Shelton began coaching season 1 alongside Christina Aguilera, CeeLo Green, and Adam Levine. Shelton reflected on the relationship he has cultivated during his time on the show with a heartfelt tweet. Throughout this time as a coach on the show, Team Shelton earned 8 wins in total. The Voice also announced Kelly Clarkson will return after leaving on season 21, while Chance the Rapper and Niall Horan will make their debut as coaches on season 23. It's a sad day for the film and theater industry. British actress Angela Lansbury died 5 days shy of her 97th birthday on Tuesday at her home in Los Angeles.
You still have tinges of an English accent,
Oh,
haven't you?
yes, I do. When I'm in America, they think I'm very English, and when I'm here, they think I'm very American.
Of course, yeah, exactly.
But I'm a bit of both.
Lansbury won 5 Tony Awards, and she was nominated as supporting actress for Academy Awards. Her nominations included films like Gaslight and The Picture of Dorian Gray. She was nominated again in 1962 for The Manchurian Candidate. She received an honorary Academy Award for her lifetime achievements in 2013. Lansbury's widest fame began in 1984 with Murder, She Wrote. The show and other television work brought her 18 nominations. Angela Lansbury holds the record for the most Golden Globe nominations and wins, for the Best Actress in Television Drama Series, and the most Emmy nominations for Lead Actress in a Drama Series. That's all for entertainment. Now we're going to sports with Evan Gravel.
Thanks, Maria. Here's what's going on in sports. The Toronto Maple Leafs kicked off the new NHL season last night with a 4-3 blown lead loss in Montreal. As stated by head coach Sheldon Keefe, the team's performance was unacceptable and sloppy.
Well, it was early season sloppiness, but I don't expect that. For everything our team has been through together, that's unacceptable.
Given the early playoff exit the Leafs faced last season after a Game 7 loss against the Tampa Bay Lightning, fans were more hopeful about the start of this season. With the off-season addition of goaltender Matt Murray and his performance in the preseason, fans were optimistic going into last night, but the Montreal Canadiens got the best of them. The Canadiens, who finished last season at the bottom of the NHL, gathered 2 goals from Cole Caulfield, 1 from Sean Monahan, and a last-minute game winner scored by Josh Anderson. The Leafs take on the Washington Capitals during their home opener tonight in hopes of redemption. Other games around the league tonight include the Ottawa Senators against the Buffalo Sabres and the Calgary Flames facing the defending champion Colorado Avalanche. Max Verstappen secured his 2nd straight F1 championship on Sunday when he won the Japan Grand Prix in unusual fashion. The Dutch driver pushed through a rain delay, red flags due to the weather, and a time limit on the event to best his opponents and hoist the illustrious trophy.
13-point lead because the race resumed after a red flag. full points could be awarded. A 30-second career.
A penalty by Charles Leclerc in the final laps led to him finishing third, with Verstappen taking the top spot on the podium. Verstappen had been leading the season by 100 points and was virtually guaranteed to secure the drivers' title with 5 races left to go. Now with 4 races left on the calendar, it'll be intriguing to see how the other teams like Ferrari and Mercedes finish up. At Humber, both the men's and women's golf programs had impressive performances over the weekends, with 2 golfers receiving Humber's Athlete of the Week. Madison Willett, who won Rookie of the Year last season, took a podium spot in Niagara for the women's team as they defended their provincial title for the 3rd year in a row. Willett, along with her teammate Haley McCallum and Elaine Sergio Projogo, swept the podium as Humber varsity took home its first provincial title this season. Daniel Talmage had his own exceptional day on the course, putting up a final round score of 69, 3 under par. Talmage became just the 11th player in program history to shoot a 3 under par or better at provincials. This performance allowed Humber to win a team silver medal and for Talmage to win a personal bronze. That's all for the sports today. For more of our stories, you can check out skedline.com. I'm Evan Gravel, and have a great day.